Minister, the legislation being proposed before us, I know that when people in Ballincollig in particular seen the decision late last year by the government to extend out the boundary, they were taken back. There was a lot of surprise that the boundary would have been proposed to extend so far west, and that was also a surprise in Blarney as well, because they didn't feel that it would have needed to have extended that far. I think there was well recognition that the boundary of the city would need to extend to give the city an opportunity to grow. But what's the biggest issue for many people is that they feel they didn't have a say in the decision, and that it was pushed on them, and that they didn't have a say in effect. And they have many real concerns that need to be addressed and to be raised. There's worry, for example, by people in business in Ballincollig on whether there would be rates or pay parking introduced. People also want to see that the powder mills, for example, would be developed in much the same way as the county has developed the Spike Island as a tourist opportunity. They want to see that the powder mills and the regional park would similarly be developed, and they want to see that it's done right. And they're worried that the city, that it may not have recognised these issues, and they want to have that say and to be heard on it. There's some 400 services from the county that are being transferred to Cork City Council, and it's important that that will be done in an orderly and in a timely way, and that it doesn't drag on, so that people, for example, after next summer's local elections, where they would have elected people to City Hall, and that the city manager would be responsible there, who would they have a say, or who would they go towards if there was an issue with those services not being handed over properly? There needs to be a time limit and a proper orderly transition made for the interest of the people living in that transitionary area. The point on the loss of resource to the county council has been well made, I think, because clearly there's some 30,000 or 30 million estimated of a loss to the county council, and that would need to be, it's hugely important that that will be made up to the county. The implementation group, the original understanding was that that kind of a payment would last well beyond 10 years, whereas the proposed legislation has somewhere a review of as early as 3 years, and a second review again within a number of years, so that could be gone within 10 years, and that's not adequate, Minister. That needs to be addressed in amendments forthcoming on it. There's so many other issues that people in Ballincollig and right across the transition area are concerned about, but also people further west, that they want to make sure that the county won't be disadvantaged. And I'll raise a number of those issues further at committee stage.